I don't have Amazon sellers as only my client. I do have some of them as a very good friend, and sometimes they ask me this question: Wes, when do you think it's the right time to delegate the PPC management, or you can say simple day-to-day account management, all this kind of stuff? I have seen a lot of different Amazon brand owners, some who have gained massive success, and I'm proud on this part that I still am part of their journey and growth and success, and some I've seen getting failed. So I had some observations which I wanted to share in this regard today. As a business owner, whatever business it is, be it Amazon, be it anything other than Amazon, e-commerce, retail shop, or whatsoever, there are most of the time two components or the business, or you can say the task of the businesses can be divided into two types. First is type of tasks which are in the present mode, and then type of the task which are in the future mode. What do I mean by this? Once you saw a product, you see, okay, so it's a good potential, then you did the sourcing, you check the sample and everything, and then after that you launch it on Amazon, you run ads, and then it's going good. Now there's a list of activities which you need to do to maintain the current flow of business, to maintain the current state of the business, which means like every day you need to check out what are the stats on your Amazon Seller Central account, how is the PPC performing, then again communicating with your freight forwarder and manufacturer to make sure that your supply chain is in time, you're not overstocked, you're not understocked, there is no health issue on your Amazon account. The marketing effort, be it on Amazon or outside Amazon in the form of reels and videos, that is going smooth. Your cash flow is being properly managed. There's this one task. But what I have seen is, and I believe that's a very valuable advice here, businesses kind of you can say can survive by fulfilling this task of list of tasks. They can survive, but they can't thrive. To make your business grow and scale, or to make your business thrive, you need to work on the future. You need to work to achieve your future, whatever future you vision for, you dream for, in next 1 year, 2 year, maybe next 3 year. What do you see? You see yourself like your revenue is 10 times as compared to what your revenue is right now. Then you need to do some kind of activity to make sure that revenue is in the direction of growing to like 10x. If you are just maintaining your PPC, your tech costs, your supply chain, the same product, then you can expect maybe your revenue gets double by the time, but you can't see a good massive growth. For that reason, you need to work on the future, and that's very important part. Now every human has like limited hours per day. If you're working like crazy, you are working like 12 hours per day, and if you have a kind of work-life coordination or balance, then you are most likely working 8 to 9 hours, and then you are giving some time to your health, to your family, to your friends circle. That's it. So for that, what you need to do is, most of the time what happens is people say, okay, I don't want to work on future while losing my present. I don't want to compromise my current profits while working on the future part, and that makes sense. So what you need to do is, you need to have the time blockers. You need to make sure that you have a dedicated time blocker where you're working as a brand owner for the future part. Now let me give you an example here. Most of the people who are selling on Amazon for a long time, like more than 6 years or 7 years, they would agree with me in this part. Every product on all these online retail platforms, they have a life cycle. Or they have a shelf life, I would say. By a shelf life, what I mean is, okay, so the product came up into the market, and then there is a good demand, then there are less sellers. You identified this opportunity, you tried, it worked out for you, it's making money. But with the passage of time, the demand is there and the supply is here, but it's growing, and eventually the product is competitive. If your revenue was like this, eventually it will make up the tail, and eventually it will be making an average money for your product. And if you are not updating it timely, then it is possible that instead of the tail may end or die at any particular time period. So what it means is, to even not even only for thriving, but if you want to make your business survive, you need to work on future activities. You need to work on how I can improve my product, how I can be better than others, how I can find out any design, any functionality which is better than the competitor, so I can lead the market, how I can optimize my offer. That can mean maybe instead of launching a water bottle in 500 ml, you launch it in 100 ml because you see there's a need of this kind in a particular area, or in a particular to a particular kind of ICP, ideal customer persona. So this kind of thing you see. The point is, you need to work on this part as a business owner, and not no employee or no worker of your business is going to work on its future. Every employee which you hire, every agency which you hire, they can work on the present. They can manage the PPC, SEO, account management, all this kind of stuff. They can help you to figure out some new ideas, but they won't be able to help you stay ahead of the curve, to help you not only survive but thrive your business. Even if there are some kind of people who provide you this thing, you need to be actively engaged in this part. You can't let someone else hold the rein of your business. You can't do that. When you see you are at that stage of the business where you are kind of growing, and your operations or your current activities, your present activities, the term which I coin usually, your present or activities have grown so much or are consuming so much of your time that you don't find activities to do the future work. The point is, when you start the business, your operations are not that much big, so you give a good time to the future activities, you give a good time to the present activities. With the passage of time, when your business grows and gets stable, your present activities, like let's say in the beginning, if it was eating like 10-20% of your time, they start eating 70 to 80% of your time. And because everything is going good, you don't feel the need of doing the future activities. And only few people do, who are very visionary or who have very optimistic or higher goal, and they really want to get it done. So those are the people only who do it part, who do kind of cater that part. Otherwise, other than those kind of people, everyone gets lost in the present activities. When you see yourself there, that is the moment, basically, that is the time when you need to delegate your present work to buy back your time. Now, I'm not saying, or I'm not trying to promote here that hire an agency, but obviously most of the time I see many people stuck there. And that is why the agency business has its existence in the market. The point is, you need to buy back your time. And for that, you compromise or trade the profits which you have. Like, let's say you are having, for example, $100 profit. So now you want to give away or compromise $20-30 of your profit or $40 of your profit to buy back your 3-4 hours, and you know your things are going to work. But instead of buying back that time and then trying to live a digital nomad life where you are visiting Bali and Dubai and Puerto Rico to enjoy your life, instead of doing that kind of stuff, you are working on growth of your business. Because the time you say or you try to claim that my work-life balance is there, I only work let's say 4 hours per week or maybe 3 hours per day, it means you are sustaining your business. It means most of the time, not all time, but most of the time, it means you're not actively working on growing your business. You have achieved a level, a plateau in your business, and you're just trying to sustain it. That's what it means actually. So the point here is buy back your time when it's needed, and I've tried to explain it in a way to you, so you can focus on updating your offer. You can focus on launching more designs. You can focus on launching more products. You can focus on identifying the next gold rush. Like in case of platforms, Amazon was a gold rush at a time, then TikTok was. You need to have time to explore TikTok. Right now, if we see TikTok shop is getting competitive, you need to have time to explore whatnot. That's a new live platform channel, live shopping platform. So the point is, you need to have some free time to work on the future of your business, and to buy back that time, you need to give some of the responsibilities to those people who you trust in the market, who understand that kind of situation, who can give you better execution on those things which are delegated to them. And then with the time which you have bought back, you're working on growth of your business. That's very important concept. And I thought, I mean, most of the time when I talk to my colleagues, because not all clients are Amazon sellers are my clients, some of them are very good friend of mine. So sometime when I talk to them, sometime my clients have a discussion with me, and then I feel there's a need of this thing to be communicated, because I've seen this thing. People who are growing, once they have done a work and they know someone else can do it, they don't waste any time in delegating that part, and then they want to keep their time free, because you don't have like 72 hours per day, you have 24 hour per day like every one of us else. And then you want to compromise, I mean, you don't want to let the present work fill the bucket of your time. You don't want to do it. What you want to do is basically you want to have some time blocks to make sure you are aware and doing well in the present time, in the present work, but then you are giving enough time to the growth. Because if you will give it enough time today, only then you will see a bright future. And if you see the theory which Jeff Bezos most of the time mention in his interviews, like where all of the people who directly report to Jeff Bezos, or even Jeff Bezos himself, they work on the future activities. That's, you can say, a mini version of that for Amazon sellers, which I'm trying to explain here, which I've seen, and which I believe if you adopt, that's going to help you a lot in your business growth. So yeah, thank you so much. That was it. And do like the video if you find any value in it. Share it and subscribe the channel, and I'll see you soon in the next one.